I am live at 7:42 a.m. Eastern Time, and this is a impromptu live. I am on my morning walk. So this is your first time tuning in. My name is Starr Carter, and my channel is Starr Knows Credit. So while I'm on my walk, I had some downloads. I'm out here listening to motivational talks on YouTube, and I was just thinking, this is my time where I do all of my brainstorming of what I'm going to do today, like set my intentions of what I'm going to do today. And I was like, I've been doing a lot of consultations lately. And I was just wondering, I'm like, what can I do to really help my community, my Starr Knows Credit community? Because it's very important to me. And so while I'm out here doing my morning walk, it just came to me. And I was like, why is it that a lot of people that I talk to tell me they're like, Starr, I've been to such and such credit repair. They charge me $400 and $500 and sometimes even more, and their credit is still bad. Whatever the promises was that they told them that they were going to do, delete, remove, whatever, their credit is still bad after spending all this money. And I was like, you do understand that you have rights under the law, that if a credit repair agency does not do what they're supposed to do, that you can report them to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to see about getting your money back. But the only reason why I'm able to tell them this information is because when I was trying to get my credit on track back in 20, let's see where we at, 2024. So in 2017, right? In 2017, I've always paid my bills on time. So my credit wasn't bad. It was slow. The needle wasn't moving. The score wasn't going up. And I couldn't understand why. My situation was a little different because I didn't have collections and stuff like that. Because like I said, I always paid my bills on time, but I did not know why my score stayed in the 600s. So I even thought about it myself, about going to a credit repair person and talking to somebody to see why the needle wouldn't move with my credit. And I just started doing some research, right? And just started reading some educational books. And the first book that I read was Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, right? And in the Total Money Makeover, he talks about his 7 baby steps. And in the 7 baby steps, the first step is to build an emergency fund. So I did not have any savings at the time, but I had several maxed out credit cards. Like I had credit card debt in the 20,000s at the time. And so I'm reading, I'm building the emergency savings. And then the second step is to snowball your way out of debt. And I'm like, okay. So I wrote down all my credit card balances, and from the smallest balance to the largest balance. And it says to put all the money you can in the smallest balance. And then I'm starting to heat up, guys, and get my walk on. And it says to put all the money you can on the smallest balance. And then the other cards just pay the minimum. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this because I want to get out of debt. I got tired of my whole check going somewhere, you know, and I didn't have any money saved for myself. So start doing that. Paid the first card off, which was like a $200 card for Old Navy that was maxed out. Then I paid off a JC Penney card that was $500 that was maxed out. right? And then I had $1,000 maxed out card with Capital One, paid it off. And once I started getting that momentum of paying these cards off, I noticed something with my credit score. My credit score was going up. I was around 620, 630. And I was like, my credit score is going up. And so I just started keep on attacking the credit card debt, right? And my score was going up. And literally, y'all, by 2020, 3 years, I had paid off the $20,000 I had in credit card debt. And now the only time I used the cards was to keep them active because I had them forever. Some of them cards, I was carrying them balances for 4 and 5 years, just paying the minimum, right? And by July 2020, my credit score, when I checked my credit score was 730. Now, for years, my credit was in the 600s. For years, I'm talking about probably at least 10 years. Because, like I said, I was just paying the minimum on the cards and the cards was maxed out. And I was like, I just couldn't understand it because I didn't have collections, as I was saying. I didn't have none of that going on. So, soon as I start paying down the debt, that's when the score went up. And in Dave Ramsey's book, he don't talk about credit. He don't like credit. Credit is when you get credit, you're a slave to a lender. And I agree to that. I agree to that because we use credit in the wrong way. We use credit a lot of times to finance our lifestyles that we really can't afford, and we using it to buy our lifestyle over time. Okay. But it was because I read that book and I just at the first baby step, and 7 baby steps in all to the Dave Ramsey thing. But just because I read and did the first 2 steps, step 1, I built my mercy fund, and step 2, I started paying down my debt. And because I built my emergency funds, when stuff came up, I did not have to use the cards again. I used my cash, right? But then, like I said, I noticed that my credit score went up. And as I continued to pay the cards off and was only using the cards for stuff that I was going to do anyway, pay my cell phone bill on the card, paid my whatever that could be paid that I was going to do anyway. I put that on the card, paid it back off with my money that was in my account, from my check. And I was able to build my savings up. And once I was no longer shoving out all that money to the credit card interest, my savings grew rapidly because I started off only being able to save like $5. And then eventually I was saving $500 every paycheck and putting this other in investments, right? But my credit score was steady going up. And not only was my credit score going up, my credit card limits was automatically increasing. Now, these are cards I've had for years. Now, the JC Penney card got closed for inactivity, and the Old Navy card got closed for inactivity because store cards are trash. They cause you to overspend and make you spend in one spot. I don't need that much clothes. So I let them cards close, whatever, right? But I had a Capital One card that had $1,000 limit forever. Next thing I know, the limit went up to 4,000. Same with some of the other cards. $500 limits went to 5,000 because I paid those cards off. So I was no longer looking like a risk. I was no longer looking like I was living off my credit. And so a reason why a lot of people credit won't improve, and you ask me with Starr, I don't have all those things going on. I don't have collections. I ain't never filed bankruptcy, but my credit will not go up. And I ask you, okay, what's your credit card balance in relation to your credit card limit? Most of them are maxed out, just like mine. So I tell them, you don't have a credit problem. You got a financial problem. You need to pay those cards down. You need to pay those cards off. Stop getting new credit because you're thinking that if you get new credit, it's going to improve your credit. I had a girl that had 10 credit cards and telling me that she was going to get a credit starter loan and start reporting the rent. And I'm like, why? You got credit. You don't need to do all that. You need to pay down what you already have. Maintain the credit you already have. That way, you don't look risky. You don't look like you're living off your credit. And once you do that, your credit will automatically improve because then your finances are going to improve because you're no longer having a lot of money going into credit card debt. And I don't care how little the amount is. It could be $200 like I was with my Old Navy card. I was only paying the 25 minimum every time. But I was going to Old Navy, getting a shirt here, getting some socks here. And my son needed a pair of jeans. I'm going to get, you know what I'm saying? And every time I use the card, I'm running it back up. And $200, and I'm using the whole $200, that's 100% utilization. That one little card was keeping my credit score down along with all the others, right? Because I looked like I was living off the credit. And credit is not made for that. It really isn't. We got the game all wrong when it comes to credit. Credit is not made for it to look like you're living off of it. Credit is for the rewards when you're using the credit card, the rewards, the cash back on money that you was going to spend anyway, right? On a trip that you had already saved for, and you're going to put the trip on your credit card to get the points so that you could get free travel. But you already had the money already saved for this trip. We weren't borrowing on the credit card to go on the trip. We already had the money, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up with credit. Credit is a direct correlation to what your finances look like. Okay. If you get your finances on track, then your credit will automatically go up. I am a living testimony of that because that's what happened to me, right? You don't get to bankruptcy, you don't get to collections, you don't get to any of those negative items without something going on with your finances. It's not possible. It's not possible. A credit card company is not going to report you as a collection if you paid them. You know, bankruptcy just ain't going to magically appear on your credit report if you haven't filed bankruptcy. And why would you file bankruptcy if you have money, right? Or if you have the money to pay it, it wouldn't make sense, unless you just don't want to give your money away, even though you ran up a bag. But another reason why people's credit won't improve is because they don't want to learn. We want the shortcut to everything. Every little thing, we want the shortcut. We want the hack. Okay, what can I do to get around doing it the right way? That's what we are. This is the society that we in right now. The microwave was one of the best and worst inventions, right? Because we were used to putting our food in the stove on a pot if we wanted to reheat it or putting it in the oven, right? Then when the microwave was invented, oh my God, you telling me all I got to do is put that plate in this microwave and turn on the button, turn the knob, put or type in the digital number, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever, 30 seconds, and my food gonna be heated up instantly. And that's what we do with our credit as well. We want years of tearing our credit up fixed in 2 months. Oh, Starr, I'm trying to get a new car because my car about to break down on me. Okay, well, what's your credit score? Oh, I'm in the low 500, but I need a car today. Well, hun, the chances of your credit score improving In 2 months, it's slim to none. This depends on what you got going on your credit. It's really slim to none. Because say if all your cards that's on your credit are maxed out, and if you don't have the money to pay those balances down, you don't have collections, you just have maxed out credit cards, right? And if you don't have the money to pay those credit cards down, you can't improve your score like that because you're already strapped for cash. You don't have no savings, you don't have nothing put back, so you can't pay those cards off to improve your credit. You can't. So that's when you go on YouTube trying to find a hack. How can I get this pledge loan? How can I get this high limit credit card with Navy Fed and all this jazz, right? Instead of learning and doing it the right way, we want the fast way to everything. But I blame it on the microwave. It made us people of instant gratification. We want it now. We don't want to wait. We don't want to learn. We don't want to study. It's right now. It's right now. And we got to change that. We got to, because it's hurting us at the end of the day. When I just did this video about high limit credit cards, if y'all hadn't checked it out, it's the last video I did before doing this right now. And some people going to Navy Fed and all these high limit credit card issuers and running up a bag, barely can make the minimum payment because the minimum payment is like $500, right? And you thinking you ain't never had no high limit credit card. All the credit cards you had $500 limit, $1,000 limit. So you think you're gonna be paying a $20,000 credit card with $25 minimum? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not. Okay? That is not how this works. That's not how this works at all. And I did the calculation on the video and showed you if you max out a $20,000 credit card and all you can pay is $310 a month, it's gonna take you 19 years and it's gonna cost you $71,000 at the end. It's gonna cost you $71,000 because you're gonna pay $51,000 of it in interest if you max out a $20,000 credit card. But we don't want to look at the real problem, right? We don't want to look at the real problem. The real problem is we got a money issue. We got a issue with how money works and not wanting to learn how it all correlates with our credit. We don't want to, but we don't want to do that. We want the hack. We want the fast track everything. Like I said, the microwave was a good invention, but it was a bad invention at the same time because it made us want everything now. We don't want to work for it. We don't want to learn, right? And I'm not one of the ones that will take your money because of your ignorance. But it's a lot of people out there that's in this credit space, right, that will. But I'm not one of them. I teach credit education. Credit repair without credit education is dead, right? Because if I don't teach you about money and about, okay, honey, you don't need no builder loan. You already got 5 credit cards that's maxed out. You don't need no builder loan. You don't need to be reporting your rent on your credit. You just need to handle what you already got. If I tell you that, that's too easy though. It's too easy to just pay what you already have. But no, you want to get more. You want to get more. No, Starr, I want to know how I can get approved for this more rewards credit card with Navy Fed. Now, I ain't asked you about paying the debt I already got. I ain't telling them that, right? I don't care about paying the credit card that I already got. I ain't worried about paying that credit one card with that annual fee and that maintenance fee, that monthly maintenance fee, just to have that $300 balance, right? That $300 limit credit card that I done maxed out, and that's what's keeping my credit score low, right? I just want to know how I can get another card. I want to know how I can get some more money, you know, because I don't want to maintain the debt that I already have. I don't want to pay those debts down. I want to learn how I can live off other people's money instead of having my own money, right? That's what we want to do. But let me tell you something if you ain't never known something about credit cards, especially like especially cards like American Express, Chase, Citibank, all the really good credit cards. I ain't talking about Credit One and Mission Lane and Upcharge and all them terrible credit cards that I tell y'all guys to stay away from. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the good credit cards, the big banks, right? That give you sign-on bonuses, 0% intro APRs, and you know, you sign on, you get so many points and all this and that and the other if you spend so much money, right? And you use those cards to spend what you were gonna do anyway, right? And check this out. You wanna know how they able to give rewards to their customers and be able to offer those type of rewards and 0% APRs for 12 and 18 months and not worry about collecting interest? Because they ain't losing money. Trust and believe that. They're not losing money, right? You want to know how they're able to do that? Because they're getting it off the ones of you that are still running around carrying the balance for 10 years, right? With that compound interest that you got because you ain't never paid no more than the minimum payment on your credit card. So they know they're going to get that interest out of you. You guaranteed. You ain't getting no rewards. You're not getting no free travel. You're not getting no free hotel stays. You getting, if you do get some cash back, it's probably 50 cents. You ain't getting no life-changing money back because you carry the balance all the time. You always got your cards maxed out. So they can guarantee that they're going to get that money out of you. And therefore, the ones that don't carry your balance, the ones that pay their credit cards off every month, the ones that actually use their credit cards the way it's supposed to be by spending only the money that you already have to pay it right back off. So they getting the points, they getting the rewards, they getting the cash back, they getting the free travel, they going to Bali, they going to Dubai on you, on your dime. So how it feel to look at a YouTube channel and a man or a woman tell you that they just traveled around the world for free off their American Express Platinum card reward points or off their Chase Sapphire card, and you got the same cards, but you got a balance. You paying interest every month. And how it feel to see somebody else living their best life on the ground off of your money. But we don't want to learn how to do it the right way. We want the hack. We want somebody to remove years and years of bad financial habits in a month. That's what we want. We want somebody to take the collection off instead of us learning how to do it ourselves. Now, I understand there's people that really and truly may not have time to do some things, and that's why there are services in the world. And you're supposed to take advantage of services. But credit repair is one of the things that it is a slow roll. It is a slow roll. You can't even guarantee results because results will vary, right? It's illegal. You could go on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau right now. It is illegal for a credit repair person to guarantee you results because you can't, right? So if a credit repair person tell you, now I don't do credit repair. Like I said, I do education. But if a credit repair agency and you talking to one tell you, I guarantee you I can get this removed, blah, 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 they lying and they already committing fraud because that's not true. A credit repair person ain't doing nothing but sending out a bunch of letters and hoping that it get removed. It's like throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what's gonna stick. And the CFPB tells you, right, that a credit repair agency can't even charge you up front, right? They can't even charge you up front for the services. Go on their website, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They can't even charge you for the service until after you get the results And the results has got to stay on your credit report for at least 6 months. Because a lot of times they'll dispute stuff, right? And they dispute good and bad because they just throwing stuff at the wall, right? To see what's gonna stick. So the good stuff getting deleted, the bad stuff getting deleted. Well, you got 30 days to respond back to the credit bureau or they have to remove it. Well, one thing about a legit debt, it's gonna come back. A legit debt or verifiable debt will come back. And that's how you have people that get stuff removed and it come back. But here's the thing though about a collection. Here's the thing. If a collection, when it first hits your credit report, right? That's when you take the biggest hit. Over time, as you get away from that event, your credit score is less and less impacted by it. So as long as you're not continuously doing the same repetitive act, getting collection after collection after collection, say you only got this one collection and you took a hit from that one collection and you work on getting that one collection removed, right? You talking to the collection agency, you do a pay for deletion or something like that, right? And get it removed. If you do it the right way, it won't ever come back. If you go into a credit repair agency, that's everybody got the same letter, okay? And they got algorithms at these credit agencies looking for repetitive sentences because they know that none of these agencies deviate from their template. How many of y'all done bought a template? How many of y'all have bought a template? No, I'm not no Jehovah's Witness, honey. I am doing my exercise. I am walking on a trail. I'm just looking at these comments. Y'all, wow. Okay. And so when you buy these templates that these credit repair agencies are selling you guys for however much they're selling them, and if you bought it and then somebody else bought it, right, they got algorithms. We in the age of technology, y'all. Everything is AI. So you're going to tell me that Equifax, Experian, TransUnion don't have algorithms to look for these same repetitive letters that everybody is sending? Sometimes we just got to use our common sense, right? We got to use our common sense. But we don't want to learn these things, right? We don't want to take the time and read some blogs, buy some financial books. You know, we want to look at the hacks. We want to get the CPNs. You know, all these people going to jail now for these CPNs, celebrities and all. Because they done sold you that you could get a CPN and use that to get a new car, or use that to buy a house, or use that to get credit cards. Not realizing that you committing identity fraud because that's somebody's social security number that you done stole. But they told you, oh no, this is a new issued number. This is a new issued number. So you got these people out here thinking that they can get this CPN, and usually the number you got is either a baby's social security number, newborn baby, somebody's baby, or older person that no longer is using their social security number because or to obtain credit anyway, or somebody that's homeless that's not using credit. So they done stole these people identity, done sold it to you in this credit profile package, right? You done paid thousands of thousands of it. And it might work. You might go to a place and you might just actually get credit somewhere. But oh boy, when they catch you, I hope y'all like going to federal prison for white collar crime. And these credit repair agencies now, they done got so lazy that they ain't even sending the letters no more. They just selling these CPN packages. Now we ain't gonna worry about fixing your credit, honey. I'm just gonna give you a whole new profile. How about that? I'm just gonna give you a whole new credit profile, right? Because when you're desperate, you do desperate stuff, right? When you're desperate, you do desperate stuff, like stealing somebody's identity. But I didn't know she was my credit repair expert. I didn't know that was illegal. Well, common sense will tell you if you use a social security number that ain't yours, it's illegal, right? But that's just the stuff that we do, right? That's just the stuff that we do because we always want to get the wrong bag. We don't want to learn. We don't want to improve our finances. We don't want to do none of that. When there's so much information out here, so much information. If you spent a weekend just reading and doing some research, a lot of the stuff that you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars for and ain't getting no results, you can sit down and learn yourself. It's very easy, but it's hard because the easiest things is the things that we avoid. But it's costing us a lot of money in the end because when your car tear up and your credit score is in the 500s or 620s and 640s, right? And you got to go out there and get a car, you're gonna get a terrible high interest loan. Whether you go into a buy here, pay here place that you know the car probably ain't what it's worth, it's probably a lemon. Or if you do go to a car dealership, they're gonna sell you a car that you can't afford. You hadn't calculated the cost because you're desperate. When you're desperate, you get into bad situations. That's what you do. It is what it is, right? So I just want to jump on this live. I've never did a live from my cell phone before, but since YouTube kept recommending it to me, I said, well, I'll give it a shot while I'm out here doing my morning walk. Since this was placed on my heart to talk to you guys about it, you know, we just have to be a lot better about our finances and about our life, right? Now let me see what. Now I'm walking, y'all, so y'all typing on this on the chat, and I'm on my phone, and I ain't trying to bust my tail walking. I got ducks out here. Look at these. Can you see the ducks? It's a whole pond, right? I'm walking around trying to get my exercise on. My cholesterol was too high, 45, and my doctor said, "Honey, you gotta get you about 30 minutes of brisk walking in, honey." I said, "Oh yeah, no worries, 'cause I ain't trying to leave here before it's my time." Okay, so somebody said, Hakeem said, I recently wrote a dispute letter to both check systems and LexisNexis. Those letters have worked, and I do send them certified and registered with signature required. See, and you did it yourself, right? Miss, I hope I'm saying your name right, Creisha Hollingsworth. I have learned so much from you in the past 3 months. I'm so glad you did, ma'am. And I appreciate you being on my channel. I really do. But y'all just be careful out here and just learn as much as you can. You know, that's all I can say. Because a lot of the stuff when it comes to credit is way easier than what you think. If we just keep our finances in check, you know, whether that means getting a higher paying job where we can increase our income, getting a side hustle, starting a business, you know, whatever we got to do to get our finances in check. Because we as a culture, when I say culture, I'm talking about people that look like me, right? We behind on the 8 ball when it comes to credit. We late to the bus. So a lot of us ruined our credit before we even knew what our credit was about. And now when you want to buy a house, when you want to get a good car, when you wanting to do major life events, you owe it to yourself to get the financial education. And once you get it, you can pass it along to your people, whether that's kids, your family, whatever, right? Because we got to stop doing what grandma did, what such and such did, because in order to get a better outcome, you got to do something different. You can't do the same things that they did if you want something different. So my philosophy is this: I don't take advice from somebody that's living and doing stuff that I don't want in my life, right? I want to take advice from people that have what I have or better, right? If you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to find a different room, because you want to always continue to elevate your mind and where you want to go and your goals and your dreams. You got to. You got to. It's really no way around it. DL said I did a change of address form at the post office and lost 16 FICO points. My score went from 761 to 745. I don't understand that either. I don't understand how you lost a points for just changing your address. Your address is not even calculated into your FICO score. Your FICO score consists of your payment history, your credit utilization, the mix of credit that you have, how much new credit that you have, right? And how long you had that credit. That's what your credit score consists of. It don't have anything to do with your address. You're changing your address or making sure your address is correct on your credit score. It's just making sure that they're reporting accurate information, right? So changing your address at the post office don't have anything to do with your FICO score. Or if you mailed in paperwork to the credit bureaus to have your address changed, it does not have anything to do with your FICO score. It's just making sure that they are reporting accurate information. That's all. It don't have anything to do with it. So I don't know if anybody told you that your address has something to do with your credit score, Mr. or Miss DL, but that's inaccurate information. We got to learn. If you go on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they got all kind of free information, free resources to teach you about your credit, free booklets and all kind of stuff to teach you about your credit. They even got dispute letter like format, teaching you how to even word the letter. You put it in your own words, but it's telling you where to put the account number, this and that and the other. They got all that on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website for free 99, right? I just don't want you guys to get took no more. And that's why I had to come on here. Your credit score will not improve if you're not willing to learn just the basic stuff and do the basic things. Paying your credit card balances off every month. I got this girl that I talked to the other day, and she paying interest on a credit card because somebody told her that it's not good to pay your credit card balance off every month. And I'm like, what type of crazy information is that? What kind of crazy information is that? Don't pay your credit card balance off every month, because that's gonna ruin your credit score. That's gonna make your credit score drop. The credit bureau don't care about you paying interest. That ain't got nothing to do with it. All they care about is that when your credit card balance report to the bureau that is under 30% and you don't look like you living off your credit card. That means maxing your credit card out. That's what they looking for. They have no idea how much you pay in interest. That's not even reported on your credit report. But I know what that person that told her that, what it is if you do have a credit card and you always keep a zero balance when the statement roll around, right? Then the 30% utilization don't have anything to calculate. So you got to have a balance. But that don't mean you have to pay interest to have a balance, right? So if you are using your credit card for stuff that you're paying anyway, like your cable bill, your phone bill, your light bill, or whatever, and you pay those balances back off before the due date. After the due date, and you pay it back down to zero, that means you're not going to pay any interest. So today is what, the 8th? So say I had a credit card payment that was due today, right? And I owed them $100, but I could pay a minimum of 25. If I pay the whole 100 today, I won't pay any interest, but that's going to give me a zero balance. I say my statement is going to come out on the 12th because usually your statement goes out to the credit bureau. It'd be reported to the credit bureau like for 3 or 4 days after your due date, right? So if I want to show the credit card company and the credit bureau that I'm responsible with my credit, I pay the whole credit balance off by the due date. And then the next day, depending on what your credit card limit is, go spend 2 to 4%. But something you're going to do anyway. Go get gas. If you're going to go to Starbucks and get you a drink that day, use the card then. You can use the card again. Just make sure that when it reports, it's under 2 to 4%. That's it. And you're not paying any interest. And you're not carrying an unnecessary balance. You do not have to give these people any money in order to improve your credit score. You don't have to do that. All you got to do is use your card responsibly. That's it. And if you're paying your card as you're using your card, you never have to worry about being late, right? You just need to know when the due date is. So if you are using your card, say you have like a $300 limit, right? And say your light bill $250. You can use the card, but you definitely know you got to pay that right back off because you are way over the utilization, right? You over half. You over half. You over 50% utilized on the credit card if you only got a $300 limit and you paid $250 on it. So that means that you need to be paying that right back off with money you should already have. If you paid $250 on your light bill, you should have your light bill money, right? So you just pay it back off. That's showing the credit card company that you are responsible, and they'll probably increase your credit limit automatic. And it shows the credit bureau that you're not living off your card, that you actually got $250 out of 300. And that's it. I told you the easiest things is things we don't want to do. Collections. If we don't even want to call the credit card company or make arrangements with doctor's offices and hospitals when we have bills, or even if we can't pay our cell phone bills and stuff, we'd rather just let it go on our credit instead of making an arrangement with these companies or with these medical systems before they even go on our credit report. It's just a phone call away, guys. Call them and tell them, hey, I can't make my car payment this month. They have systems in place. If you call them and give them time to be able to work something out with you, then you won't get a late payment. They may even waive it for that month. But if you don't call them and just let it go late, that's where we mess up. Student loans, same thing. You don't even want to call your student loan provider and tell them, hey, I can't afford the payment. Can we look at what can we do to get the payment down? But instead of trying to work something out, you just don't pay it. You just don't pay it at all, right? And that's not good. We got to stop doing that, y'all. We just got to start being more responsible when it comes to stuff like that, really. A lot of things, it's just a phone call away. All you got to do is call them, and they'll waive the late fee, or they will not report it as a late payment if it get to 30 days. If you give them a call, they will set something up. But we don't want to take that extra step to do that. We'll rather just put the blinders on and hope it just magically disappear. And we got to stop doing it, y'all. We really do. Because some of the easiest things that we can do ourselves without spending money, we're not doing it. And it's an injustice to us, right? So I got to go. I got to get ready to go down to my store. I have been on here, 46 minutes. So I walked longer than I intended to today, but talking to y'all. But I hope this teaches y'all something. And if you want to learn about finances and how it collates with your credit and learn, you know, financial literacy and education, y'all can join my Credit Ready program. I'm going to pin the link in the comments. It's only $10 a month. You can cancel anytime. It's a whole community that I'm building. We do book of the month reads together, live Q&As. Y'all can chat it up with me. I do a one-on-one consultation with you for free if you join. So I'm going to leave the link in the comment. But I hope you have a good weekend. It's Friday. I hope y'all have a good weekend and y'all stay blessed. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.